Good evening, participants.
Good evening, sir.
Friends, we are having today's second last day. Very soon we will, our next resource person will join. But I think he might have some problem because he is joining from Jammu and Kashmir. We are contacting him why he could not join. Uh, in between, if you have any your opinion or any your views which you want to share about this program, you can share. I'm contacting with the resource person, and I hope that he will join very soon. Anyone want to say anything regarding this program, which already finished? I think 5 days. This 2 days are there.
सर मैं कुछ कहना चाहती हूँ आफ्ताब सर।
हाँ, बरका मैम बताइए।
सर मैंने वैसे कुछ सेशंस स्किप भी करने पड़े बिकॉज ऑफ सम नेटवर्क इश्यूज एंड ऑल एंड आई वाज आउटसाइड, तो आई एम नॉट स्पेसिफिकली वेरी मच अवेयर कि अगर कि एआई पे कोई स्पेसिफिक लेक्चर हुआ है क्या ऐसे करके, तो हम चाहते हैं कि कुछ स्पेसिफिकली एआई पे ही कोई लेक्चर हो।
ओके ओके श्योर।
जी
एक्चुअली मैम अभी हम एआई पे इसलिए नहीं लेक्चर करा पाए, जो मैं अपना अपना ओपिनियन बता रहा हूँ कि इट इज स्टिल इन द प्रोसेस। आई वांट एक्चुअली वी वांट टू जस्ट लेट इट कम इवॉल्व। ऐसा नहीं है कि लेक्चर नहीं हो सकता है उस पे।
जी जी
मैंने इसको नोट कर लिया। वी विल कंसीडर इट एज सुन एज पॉसिबल। बट यूजीसी ने जब ये प्रोग्राम दिया है तो हमें बहुत सी चीजें उसने गाइडलाइंस दी हैं,
जी
तो
सर।
हम उसको भी फॉलो कर रहे हैं। लेकिन आपने अच्छा एक सजेशन दिया, and I will
क्योंकि सर अभी लगता है कि आगे आने वाले 15-20 साल तो एआई ही खा जाएगा।
हाँ
और
बिल्कुल।
अभी जैसे मेरा एक ओपिनियन है कि लोग बोलते हैं कि एआई नौकरियां खा जाएगा, लेकिन मेरा ये मानना है कि एआई नौकरियां नहीं खाएगा। जिनको जिनको एआई आता है वो नौकरियां खा जाएंगे। तो लगता है कि हमें एआई आना चाहिए
तो आप
बहुत अच्छे
नौकरी खाना
तरीके।
चाहते हैं?
नहीं, नौकरी खाना नहीं चाहती, मैं नौकरी में बरकरार रहना चाहती हूँ
श्योर श्योर
सर।
श्योर, हम इस पे टॉपिक कराएंगे इंशाल्लाह। वेरी
थैंक यू
और
सर।
कोई ओपिनियन मैम? बहुत अच्छा सेशन रहा आपका ये। टेक्नोलॉजी पे तो हम लोगों ने बात किया, लेकिन हाँ ये भी एक एस्पेक्ट है, इस पर डिस्कशन हो सकता है। एनीवन? बहुत दूर दूर से आप लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, जाहिर सी बात है बहुत सारी इशू चैलेंजेस आपके साथ। सुबह में क्लास लेना, फिर आना, फिर यहाँ पे अटेंड करना, सुनना। अच्छा मैं जरा चेक करता हूँ सर पे। Participants, the resource person is joining within 2 minutes. I told you now because of some network issues, and of course there are the many more challenges in the Kashmir. So he just told me that he's joining very soon. I just contacted him. So please be patient. Thank you for the same. Participant, tomorrow on the last day, let me announce that you will have another test on the basis of these lectures which we have attended. So be prepared after the conclusion of the session. I mean, second session, you will given again the same form on the same format, that is Google uh, form, and you have to attempt the same questions on basis based on the various lectures delivered during the various session of this program. So be prepared for the same also tomorrow after validity session, inshallah.
गुड इवनिंग सर, आफ्ताब सर।
पिंकी मैम।
जी सर।
जी मैम बताइए।
सर कल भी 2 सेशन होंगे?
श्योर। आपको टाइम टेबल तो मिला होगा?
यस सर, जैसे रोज होता है वैसे ही।
हाँ वैसे ही होगा।
वैसे तो वैलिडिक्टी
और
के लिए कोई अलग से सेशन होगा या इसी समय में ही होगा, इन्हीं इसी टाइम के दौरान?
नहीं, वो 5-10 मिनट का होता है वैलिडिटी, उसमें कोई बहुत ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगता है।
ओके सर।
उसके बाद आपको फॉर्म भेज दिया जाएगा आपके ग्रुप पे, आप उसको फिल करते रहिएगा। एक पर्टिकुलर
ठीक।
टाइम दे दिया जाएगा आप लोगों को, जैसे
सर ये
लास्ट
गूगल
टाइम।
फॉर्म आप इसी में शेयर करेंगे चैट
हाँ
बॉक्स में
उसी पे शेयर करेंगे, मजर साहब करेंगे
क्योंकि
वो।
व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में तो और भी बहुत सारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग यहाँ पे कोई 30-35 लोग ही यहाँ पे होते हैं।
नहीं नहीं, वो आपका हेडक नहीं है, वो हमें करना है। वो
जी
सारे लोग
सर।
फॉर्म भर दो, उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है।
जी जी
हमारा
सर।
पूरा ये सेशन रिकॉर्ड मोड पे होता है, तो वी नो वेरी वेल हु इज एब्सेंट, हु इज प्रेजेंट।
ओके सर, ओके।
Accordingly, but we will distribute the certificate. जी रुद्री मैम, कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं आपने?
सर ये जो पीपीटीज हैं हमें मिल जाएंगी, जो ये जो नोट्स होते हैं ये सारे,
हाँ
अगर
हाँ,
हमें
उसके
देखने
लिए
हो
मदर
तो?
से कांटेक्ट कर लीजिएगा, सारे रिसोर्स पर्सन को सबमिट कर देते हैं, क्योंकि ही इज द टेक्निकल इंचार्ज, तो उनके
सर
पास
ये
आ
जो
जाता है।
लिंक
सर
जो आ रहा है चैट बॉक्स में, वहां से वो जो
नहीं,
हमें
I'll
आप?
I'll I'll
हाँ,
I
बोल
will
बता
I
रहा
will
हूँ।
give you I will give you a YouTube link. You just subscribe that channel and you will get all the videos. सारे
Yes.
वीडियो सब कुछ आपको सेव YouTube पे मिल जाएंगे। आप एक मैं लिंक भेजूंगा, उसे सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिएगा, आपको मिल जाएंगे सारे वीडियोस, आपके
ओके
जितनी भी
सर,
क्लास
थैंक यू।
होंगी सब।
सर ये फिर हमें आज मिल जाए, क्योंकि कल तो एग्जाम है ना, फिर तो फिर एग्जाम के
ओके
बाद।
ओके ओके।
जी सर, ओके सर।
Hello, sir. Aftab, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you, ma'am.
जी मैम बताएं।
हम दे
हाँ सर, वो मैं बात कर रही थी कि मेरा इंस्टीट्यूट का नाम गलत था इस सर्टिफिकेट में। मैंने उसका मेल भी आपको किया था, पर मुझे कोई रिवर्ट मेल नहीं मिला उसके ऊपर।
आप व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में लिख दीजिए मजर साहब को, सही हो जाएगा।
ओके, पर सर उसमें एडमिन कैन ओनली सेंड मैसेज ऐसा है। मैं यहाँ पे मैसेज बॉक्स में लिख दूं?
ये तो खत्म हो जाएगा मैम लेक्चर के बाद, फिर कहाँ हमारे पास रिकॉर्ड रहेगा।
तो मैं आपके पर्सनल फोन नंबर पे भेजूं, क्योंकि ग्रुप में तो ओनली एडमिन कैन सेंड है।
ओके, मैं भी बता देता हूँ आपको, 1 मिनट।
मैम आप जो है व्हाट्सएप, मुझे व्हाट्सएप डायरेक्टली कर दीजिए, मेरा नंबर है एज ए एडमिन।
हाँ, ओके ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
After, sir, when is the gentleman coming? Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay. Actually, I'm just saying that because we have other engagements also, no? So session is getting very late.
He is just a minute joining. Please wait.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
हाँ।
Okay, good afternoon to everybody. I think I must be audible to all of you. Am I
Sir.
audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please. I'm sorry
Yes,
for being
sir.
late. Aftab Sab, I'm sorry I am late
No
because
problem,
I
sir.
was stuck in a
No,
meeting, but still I was searching for a link from last 10 to 15 minutes. So your
No, sir,
SMS, I
link
got it.
is sent by another mail and your letter is sent by another mail. So this is the problem.
This is the problem. Maybe
Oh.
that could be the issue. That could be the issue. Anyway, sir, no problem, sir.
Participants, now our esteemed speaker, Professor Mushtaq Ahmad Darzi Sahab, have joined. He is the professor in Department of Management Studies, Director UDC HRDC, University of Kashmir, Hazrat Bal. He did PhD Management, MPhil in Management and MCom. He has more than 37-year experience and he is presently Director of HRDC, University of Kashmir, Head Department of Management Studies, Coordinator SAP, and he is also Regional Director of IGNU, Regional Center Srinagar. Professor Darji has presented 60 research articles and papers in various national and international conferences and published more than 70 papers in international and national journals of repute. Today, he is going to speak on the topic skill development. Because of paucity of time, I am just telling you few things about Professor Mushtaq sir. If you really wish to know, he has a very long and I will say very long and length and breadth is curriculum vitae, and you can visit on the website of Jammu and Kashmir University, and you will find a detailed curriculum. With these words, sir, I would like to invite you to speak on the topic skill development. Sir, now mic over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think I'm audible to you, sir. Is
Yeah,
it okay?
sure, sir.
Yeah,
You are
okay,
very much audible.
Thanks, Aftab Saab. I'm sorry because I could not join on time because I was stuck in a meeting, but I just was
No,
running.
sir,
And
it's my duty, but problem was with because they are already attending this program from 3 o'clock. My participants, it's
Yeah.
no issue. They are very patient and they are very active
Thank you,
participants.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
I
sir.
think
Thank you, sir.
they will bear it. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so first of all, I'm highly thankful to the Director MMTTC MU, Faiza ma'am, that she gave me an opportunity to participate, to join you. She gave me an opportunity that I can just have a session with you. She made me an opportunity for that. And Aftab Saab, he introduced me to you. And good afternoon to all of you. And actually, this is a mission which has been taken place from side of UGC, that NEP has been implemented and NEP has been announced, and there were certain things that confusions and chaos has remained in the faculty members of the higher education. So they thought it will be better that if we can have general orientation and sensitization program and cover all the teachers of the higher education department throughout the country, so that they are acquainted with different themes, dimensions, aspects, factors of this national education policy, so that it could be implemented well, and so that we can be at the fruits. Because you see that there are certain new things which have been introduced in the policy, so that it becomes internationally fair and it becomes recognized, and we can even take these scores from the international universities and can mix up with our own universities and can get degrees, and so many things have been added up. And it was better that they thought that it would be better that if the teachers on a large scale will be given an input about how we can implement fully this NEP policy. And you know that there are different aspects which are actually being covered. Curriculum aspect, Indian knowledge system is there, research and development, different dimensions are there. And one of the dimension which has been kept, that is skill development. And we have to improve upon our skill in any aspect of life. Whether we are a student, you are a researcher, you are an entrepreneur, you are an employee. So we have to develop our skill. We have no option. So we have to develop the skill so that we become well aware about the things which actually we have to deliver to the students, or we have to deliver to the products, or whatever it is. So there are different skills which a teacher has to learn. Different skills are there, like how he can improve upon teacher teaching learning system, how he could improve upon the research, how he could, there are different types of things he can do. And today I will talk about one of the important input and important resource which has been provided to us by Almighty God. And now we have to make an effective use of that. We have to learn the skill of doing that. That's actually the time. So I will be discussing about time as a resource and how we can better utilize our time so that everything, whatever we are supposed to do, we can do it on time. Now the question is, what is time actually? What is time? Because there is a lot of confusion among the definitions of time. Even we can have qualitative definitions for a time, but quantitatively we cannot value the time. If we say that what is the value of 1 hour, we cannot value it, because as a student of management I was learned that there are 5 factors of production. When these can be coordinated together, we can use them in the production process, or we can use them in the service this delivery system. So these 5 aspects which we have considered, that was man, machine, money, materials, and methods. So we should have these factors of production, then only we can produce or we can handle services. Like I will just see man, human resources okay, machines are okay, money is okay, materials is okay, and the methods, the process through which we can produce or render services is also one of the dimension, or we can say one of the factor of production. But you know that time is also being consumed. We consume time also in the process, but we have not been in a position to include this time also as one of the factors of production, because time values different to different people. We cannot have a general yardstick for value of time. Even for one person, the value would be 1 hour, and for 1 hour will value rupees 10, and for others it can value rupees 100, for another it can value rupees 10,000, for somebody it can value rupees 1 lakh. So we don't have general yardstick to value the time. So quantitatively we cannot measure the time. We can measure it, we cannot give value to the time, but qualitatively we can value the time. So I can share my presentation then, because this is actually a long presentation, but we will have to make a short and to finish it with 1.5 hours. I will try my level best for that.
Sure.
Doesn't get reflected on the screen. Okay, this is time management. Now, first of all, if we see in the dictionary, we can have different meanings of this time. We can have, like, time can be used in noun, it can be used in verb, it can be used in adjective. But the question was that how we can value the time. I told you that quantitatively we cannot generalize the value of this time, but qualitatively we can measure the time. Like I will tell you, we say to realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. So if a student fails in a particular examination, then he is asked to stay at his home for a year. And the abuse and humiliation which he faced throughout this year, he can tell you what is the value of 1 year which he has to spend in his home without studying, and have got all the humiliations and trauma within that 1 year. If we go down to realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who gave birth to a premature baby. You know that it takes 9 months to have a born baby, to give a birth to a baby. And if you know that if a child is born just after 8 months, it has a least chance of survival. So, and we realize the value of the mother. We realize the mother through which she goes in these 9 months, the pains, the trauma, even every activity is being hindered. Every activity she has to take with a precaution. Otherwise, she has always a threat that nothing should happen to my baby. So she takes all the possible steps. So all these 9 months she passed. So she has passed all the 8 months. But because of 1 month, she gave delivery to the baby, but the baby didn't survive. Now this mother can tell you what's the value of 1 month, which has taken the life of his baby. You realize the value of 1 week. Also the editor of a weekly newspaper. So if you see, if there is a weekly newspaper, and you see how he has to utilize, how he has to organize his resources, and has to catch all the news, which happens in nowadays, now it is in the whole world. So he has to put all the resources there, and then he has to collect the news, and then only he will be in a position to publish this weekly newspaper. He can tell you the value of this week, which actually he has been in a position to catch the news for this week. To realize the value of 1 hour, also the lovers who are waiting to meet. You know that how much it becomes difficult for us if some near and dear is expected, and then he is late, or we are being supposed to wait for more 1 hour. Then you see how much this is painful, how much trauma we receive during this 1 hour when we're supposed to wait. I will give an example. If, for example, a mother, she is expecting his son from some foreign country after 2 years, and she has gone to the airport and is about to receive his son. But there was an announcement in the airport that the flight will be late by 1 hour. And you see, when she has been made to wait for 1 hour more, and see how she will spend this 1 hour. How many times she will see the watch? She will see the watch, 5 minutes are gone, then see again the watch after some time, only 6 minutes are gone. So all this 1 hour is becoming very painful for the lover, for that mother or whosoever is there when he's waiting for his near and dear one. To realize the value of 1 minute, or a person who missed the train. And you see, if we reach the railway station late by 1 minute, and we found that the train has left, whatever we have scheduled, that we have to reach a particular destination and we have to do number of activities there, but we could miss the train because of 1 hour being late, 1 minute being late. So we couldn't catch up. So that the schedule is disturbed. A person who has just missed this train by 1 minute, ask him, what does this 1 minute value for him? To realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who just avoided an accident. You see, avoiding of accident is just a second. For example, if we are just passing on a road, if we have not taken a step towards the left, a car could have hit us. We were just walking and something was thrown on to us, and we just took a step here and there. So by virtue of that step, that was just a second, that we could avoid that accident. Otherwise, anything could have happened. So avoidance action is 1 second. A person who could have been hit by this car, if he has not taken this 1 second step, so he could survive because of this 1 second. He can tell you what's the value of this 1 second. Then we say to realize the value of 1 millisecond, also the person who won a silver medal in the Olympics. And the difference between a gold medal and a silver medal is 1 millisecond sometimes. When we see the Olympics, it is in minutes, in seconds, and milliseconds. Each second is divided into 10. So, and the difference between the gold medal and silver medal is 1 millisecond. And also that silver medalist who has just lost the gold medal because of this 1 millisecond, he can tell you what is the value of this 1 millisecond. Okay. Now, we say treasure every moment that you have. Treasure it, because it's a resource. It's a resource by the God towards us. So he has given us. So we should treasure it. Yesterday is history. We say it's a time. Yesterday is also a time. And we do not take decisions for the past. So time, yesterday, it is gone. But it is having a value for us. How it is having a value? Because it's an experience for us. It's a learning for us. Why we read the history? Because we come to know that how the people have spending their life, and we come to know that how life has emerged around this, how kingdom have emerged, how they ruled these countries and economies. So, but yesterday is yesterday, so we cannot change. So what? Yesterday was 13th of May 2024. It's not going to come again. So we cannot take a decision towards yesterday. Tomorrow is mystery. When we take a decision for tomorrow, it's again a mystery. Because we plan sometimes, we will go tomorrow, I will leave to Delhi. but due to some calamity conditions, the flights could not move. So it was a mystery. So because you cannot take decisions for tomorrow with 100% reality. So because it becomes a mystery. Then today is a gift. Today is a gift. So why we say it's present? We say birthday present. We say any marriage present. So it's a gift. So we say today is a gift. Isn't it? So that is, it's having a value. Now, this is about the time. Now the question is, what is time management? Because we have to learn and we have to be a little bit hurry also. It's already late. What is time management? If we look into the Google, you will come across hundreds of definitions, thousands of definitions on time management. You see, one of the definitions says the ability to use one's time effectively or productively, especially at work. Now, the definition says how we are in a position, how much ability we are having to use this time as a resource, isn't it? Which, in a way, so that whatever we are supposed to do at our work, that can be done effectively and efficiently and productively. Time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control of time spent on specific activities, especially to increase effectiveness, efficiency, and productivity. So it is more emphasis towards planning and control, which is important functions of the management. So that also gives us the same. That means we have to increase the effectiveness, efficiency, and productivity. That way, we will be in a position to, if we are in a position to manage our time well. Referred to as a technique for managing time. All these definitions, actually, they are just having one idea, one point, that you have to manage time in that way so that we are in a position to do our jobs effectively and efficiently. This is what time management. But for our discussion here, we'll define time management like this. Time management as the self-controlled attempt to use time in a subjectively efficient way to achieve outcomes. So this is considered to be one of the best definitions on time management. I have seen it on the internet. This is one of the best definitions. So if we analyze this definition, you will come across different points in this. It says it's a self-controlled attempt. People have opportunity to decide how they divide up and organize their time. We are having an opportunity. We are having time is ours. It's my time. I know how to spend it. How it's my opportunity. It's my work that I will divide up this time to my different activities which I have to do, and how I will organize this time also in order to achieve the things. So it's our opportunity. So we can divide up. For example, if a student, or when we were appearing in an examination, we have to attempt 5 questions in 3 hours. Now, one person, one student, he will devote 30 minutes for question number 1, 40 minutes for question number 2. There's another student. He was devoting only 10 minutes for question number 1, 50 minutes for question number 2. So because it depends, it's self-control. They have an opportunity. So they will do it on their own. So this was one. So they have an opportunity to decide how they divide up and organize their time. Now also, when we talk of time management, we relate it with the outcomes. Because when we are on the job, we are supposed to do some activity. So how much time we took to do this activity, it's relating with the activities. So we cannot say time management in a vacuum, just like being idle and tell what's time management. No, we are referring to the time management with regard to some outcomes. That means what should be the result. We are referring it with the result. Now, again, it says it's an attempt to use time in a subjectively efficient way. Subjectively efficient way means it's a subjective, we don't have objectivity in it. So you can use it efficient way or you can use it inefficient way. Efficient way means if you have achieved the outcome within the shortest possible time. So if you can manage the time very well and it took you less time to achieve the goal, achieve the outcome, so that means you are a good time manager. So that actually is the endeavor of time management. We should take less of the time, and then we should also achieve outcome what is expected, because it is said time is an inelastic resource. It's an inelastic. It's also a resource. I told you that there are different sources, but time is also a resource. But what type of it? We say it's an inelastic. We cannot stretch it, nor we can condense it. For example, I tell you, there is 60 minutes a minute, an hour. Can we make 61 minutes of an hour? No, it's not possible. 60 minutes means an hour. It's an hour. So you do it or you don't activity, the hour is gone. Neither you can make it 59 seconds, 59 minutes an hour. So you cannot do it. So that means it's an inelastic resource. Now, why we then talk of this time management? Because we say, if we can learn how to use our time in an efficient way, we could save time. If we are saving time, that means we can achieve other objectives also. For example, we say, when we talk of a logo of energy, we say energy saved is energy produced. Same way, if we say time saved is time produced. For example, if we are supposed to do a particular job in 3 hours, okay, and if we do it only 2 hours, that means we saved 1 hour. And this 1 hour can be devoted to some other activity. Okay, so that means we have added 1 more hour in our life. Or for example, if we live for 70 years, but whatever we are supposed to do in 70 years, we did it only in 65 years. So that means we have lived 5 years more. It's not now only 70 years, that means we have lived for 75 years. That means we saved 5 years and we do a lot of activities more, which we could have done in more 5 years. That means that's why we say in it. And that's why we are concerned with the time management as a skill. Now the question is, how do we realize that we are not good time managers? First of all, we have to realize whether we are good time managers or we are not. Because if we are good time managers, it's okay. But if we are not, then we need to learn. But now the question is how we will realize that we are not good time managers. That means there must be signs, certain symptoms will be there, which will tell us that the time management which is with you, it's poor. You are not doing it nicely, but you are having your time management is not good. It's a poor time management. Now that means signs would be there, certain symptoms will be there that will make us conscious about this time management. That would then we will realize that we need to learn skills for making efficient use of this time. Now, procrastination, deadlines constantly being missed. If we miss the deadlines constantly, that means it's a problem with our time management. That there are certain things which are actually actually this time bound. Time is there. Time bound activities are there. For example, we have to pay the fee of our children in the school by 15th of every month. Okay, once you may miss it, second you may miss it. But if you miss it again and again, that means there is a problem with your time management. These are deadline-driven projects. Like we have to pay our mobile bill, we have to pay our power bill. So if you miss it again and again, that means problem is with the time management. That can only be the only problem, but one of the problems, major problem, that could be associated with the time management. Chronic vacillation between unpleasant alternatives. That means if you are going from one alternative to the another alternative, but it's a chronic vacillation, you are not satisfied with the only one alternative. It's again a poor time management. For example, we can teach in management, we can teach in any course, we can teach through different ways. Okay, we can teach through lectures, we can teach through case studies, we can teach through presentations, we can teach through game playing. So if a teacher, he just starts with a presentation, then he's not satisfied. Then he shifts to the case study. From case study, he shifts to the another alternative. Objective is the same, but alternatives are different. So if he shifts from one to another, there can be a problem with the time management. Fatigue or listlessness, many hours are unproductive. If you feel like you become very much tired, because when we complete a task, when our hours give a productive result, such hormones get developed in the human body that your tiredness is gone. But if the time which you have spent and it has been unproductive, what actually you were expected to do, you could not do it, you will find that you will be very much tired or there will be listlessness. If this is the situation, this can also be related with the time management. Rushing from one project to the other. If you have different projects, you are rushing from one project to the other project. That means you just start with one research paper, then you go to the other research paper. Then you go on starting writing a book. So you don't have a satisfied feeling of it. Everything is left incomplete. You go from one project to another project, leaving that project incomplete. That's also a problem with the time management. Insufficient time for rest or personal relationships. So that means if you don't have time to rest, If you don't have time to attend to your personal relationships, that means you have insufficient time. It's a problem with your time management. There are people who work more than us, but they take the rest and they attend the personal relationships. They attend their families. They attend their relations. So that means if we don't find time to rest and to attend our person, that means it's a problem with our time management. The sense of being overwhelmed. If you find that always there are demands, details that are in our mind, isn't it? So if you are overwhelmed, that means too much of burden is on our mind. That's also a problem with the time management. So actually, one of the major issue of this poor time management is stress. We say stress is a big problem nowadays. Major of the diseases nowadays are because of this stress. So if you find that you are stressed, you should immediately go and cope with this stress. It needs to be managed. Now, how you will come to know that you are stressed? Because stress, most of the problems of coming to stress is because of the poor time management. How you will come to know that you are under stressful condition? You are stressed. One is increased irritability. If you become irritated, if your irritation level increase, normal irritation is everywhere, because sometimes we get irritated, it's okay. But if the level of irritation is increased, that means you are under stress. For example, I am sitting in my home, I am doing some job. A small child is coming by, he is asking me, Dad, you give me a pen. If we start, oh, you go, you leave from this place, you are always disturbing me. That means I become irritated. He has nothing to do with my task. He has a problem, I was a solution for him. So instead of solving the problem, I become irritated. So if such a situation is there, that you become irritated with a small portion of an activity, with a small things, you become irritated, it means that you are under stress. Another is, if you are having an erratic sleep, if you don't have a comfortable sleep means constant sleep. If, for example, we sleep for 7 hours, then when we get up, that we are again fresh. Because we are on machines, we actually need a rest. We actually need comfortable sleep. So if we have to take 7 hours sleep, we should take it. Then we should be very fresh after the sleep. But if you don't have a comfortable sleep, that means you take 1 hour sleep, then you get up. Then you take another 2 hours of sleep, then you get up. So if that is known to be as an erratic sleep, so you take in piecemeals this sleep. So it doesn't give you freshness. It doesn't give you that comforts which your constant sleep is giving. So when you are having this type of atmosphere, erratic sleep, it's in your mind. That means you are stressed. So erratic sleep is because of stress. You must have realized when you are going to face an interview board, that time we are highly stressed. And that's a normal stress. And you will find, if tomorrow we have to face an interview, this night I will not have a comfortable sleep. I will have an erratic sleep. So because that's a normal. But if you find always that you are having an erratic sleep, you have changed over your comfortable sleep to erratic sleep, that means you are under stress. It needs to be built. And this stress one of the reasons could be because of poor time management. Increase it eating and so on. If you increase more, eat more. Because increasing eat more means when we are stressed, we never know what we actually are doing. So what happens? We go on eating meals, but we don't concentrate towards the meals. Something else is happening in our mind. So I take the food of 2 items, 2 persons or 3 persons. So it can be sometimes decreased eating also, but mostly it's increased eating. And if you smoke more, that also is related with the stress. Fatigue, if you become tired. So if your tiredness level, it can be sometimes a physical problem also, but if you are physically okay, and then you also get tiredness, the tiredness is also because of stress. Even you do physical activities, then you do mental. Even if you do mind activities, you are doing 2-3 activities at the same time because of being stressed, because of under stress. So that means you will get fatigueness a little bit more. Restlessness, you don't stick to one place. You become restless. You stand up and move from one place to another. Then again you sit. Then again you. So this is also because when you are angry or something like that, you will find that you become very restless. That means you move from one place to another. So that's also stressful behavior. Self-doubt, you doubt yourself. So this is a common phenomenon these days. Common phenomenon. that we doubt ourselves. Doubt, how do we doubt ourselves? If, for example, in the morning when I leave for the office, if I have to see 2 and 3 times whether I am carrying my mobile phone with me or not, that means it is stressful thing. That means I am stressed. Because when I have taken a mobile and put it in the pocket, my mind is working somewhere else. So I was not concentrating towards putting this mobile in my pocket. So I created doubts that whether I have picked it up or whether I have taken mobile set with me or not. Or it can be valid. Or sometimes if you are the last man to leave the home, so then after half an hour or you once you reach the office, you realize that whether I have locked the home or not. So that means when you are locking the home, so your concentration was towards some different activity, so that you don't remember whether I have locked the home or not. So these are actually the things which actually are related with the self-doubt. And self-doubt is 100% stress. Poor memory, if we are losing our memory. Memory is nothing to do with the age. It can be, but not to the extent as we feel. Poor memory means sometimes what we do, we even don't remember the name of our very close colleague in the college or the university. So we have to shake our head in order to remember his name or in order to recall his name in our mind. So if such a situation is there, so you are actually developing a poor memory. That means you are under stress. Now concentration. And if you are not in a position to concentrate on one activity, that's also under stress because you are working on different projects in the mind. So you are not in a position to concentrate towards one activity. For example, if you are preparing for a class, I have read the 10 pages of a book, but I have lost my concentration. I don't remember what I have read out of these 10 pages. Okay. Now, another dimension is, are you frequently finishing tasks at the last minute right before they are due? If you are the person that you are finishing all these activities which you are supposed to do at the last minute, that means it's a problem with the poor time management. For example, if you have a case form was advertised by the university, you have to apply for CAS or Career Advancement Scheme. You have to apply for next stage. There are people who apply 2 days before, 3 days before, 6 days before. But we are the problem. We remain only, it is the last date is today, we go only on today and deposit the form. If this situation happens with every time, frequently, we say if it's a frequently, if you are finishing it at the last minute, right before they are due, that means you are problem with the time. So do you find you have difficult time concentrating on one job at a time because there are so many jobs to do? If you feel like there are so many jobs to do and we are not in a position to concentrate on one job, that means we are under stress, and that means it's associated with the poor time management. So this is the phenomenon of poor time management. That means we need to work out on this. But before we will try to learn what are the time management skills, just answer these questions. What is my time worth? How much do I get per hour? If I could save 1 hour a day, what would this amount to be in the course of 1 year? So it says that we cannot generalize the worth of time, but we can say what is my time worth. For example, if I am paid a salary for spending 6 hours in a day, okay. For example, if I am paid 90,000, that means if 30 days in a month, that means I am paid 3,000 a day. If I am spending 6 hours, that means 500 is the worth of my 1 hour. I am paid 500 rupees for 1 hour. If I could save 1 hour a day, if 1 hour I could save, how much worth it will be throughout the year? That means 500 into 365. It becomes a huge amount. So it actually gives us a realization that time is worth and it's very essential in our life. What is my job? You should know what the job is. What results are expected of me? Am I meeting a predetermined defined or I'm just drifting? Do I have objectives with me and I am working on those objectives? Am I meeting those objectives, that purpose, or I'm just drifting, just passing my time? What I have been doing at the end of a day, am I able to account for my time? If it's a very important thing, that can we account for the day's time? For example, if I have spent the day, then I sit in the evening at my home, and then can I account that how much time, what actually I was doing throughout the day, what I started, Then when I finished one job, then another time when I started this job, how much time it took. So if we can account for it, that means we are taking good time. That means we are good time managers. But if you don't remember it, you feel like once going back to your home, we feel that this time has been a waste. This day has been a waste. I did nothing out of it. So that means there's a problem, isn't it? Am I involved in work activities that rightly fall under the responsible? Am I not? Am I doing the job which I am responsible? Is it not that I am doing the jobs which some other person is was supposed to do? Isn't it? So you have to realize it. You have to first think over it. Am I doing the job which actually is my responsibility? I am accountable for the job, or I'm doing the job of some other people? What are 5 most important tasks I have to do? So when I start my work, do I know that what are the activities which I have to do? Can we list 5 activities which are essential and we have to do them within this day? What results do I see for the time I spent? So what could be the result for all the activities? What would happen if some of these things are not done? What will be the outcome? For example, if what can be the harm? If out of these 10 jobs, I could do only 8 jobs. I could not do 2 of the jobs. What can be the harm? It is just answering this question. Am I goal oriented? Am I working towards quantified objective? Have I established standards for myself or my people? So am I focused towards the goal? Have I, because for that very purpose, it's better to have a performance standard. That means you should keep a standard for that. So then we try to reach to that standard. Do we have those standards with us? Have I done any planning? Do I plan? What is planning? Planning is what to do, how to do, when to do, where to do it. Isn't it? So this is essential, the first process of the management, planning. Because if we don't plan, then we feel disturbed. Because planning serves us as a guide. If we plan for an activity, we actually can forecast what can be the work difficulties which we face when we will go on doing this job. So what difficulties we will be facing. So if we come to know the difficulties beforehand, then we will take steps also to overcome those difficulties. So they will not become a hurdle in our achievement of the objectives. Okay, have I established priorities? Have I determined a hierarchy of importance? Have I time to manage, schedule, control my work and time? Is the job running me, or I am drifting? Am I suffering from brief cases that is bringing more and more of my work home? So for our teachers, why are we prepared for the classes? Do we prepare it at our home or do we prepare it in the college? For example, if we realize that we spend 6 hours in a college, out of 6 hours, I teach 2 hours, then where the 4 hours are going? Why shouldn't I spend time for preparing of the classes for tomorrow in the college itself? Why should I take the time of our family and start preparing for our next class tomorrow? Okay, sometimes it is possible, you can just refresh it, it's okay. But if you are wholly and solely depending upon these activities at your home, that means you are taking the time of your family. Okay, so that's what is actually your job is 6 hours. You teach for 2 hours or 3 hours. So rest of the hours, where are you going? Are you making gossips? Where are you going? So can't you spend these hours for the preparing of the next class? Do I delegate all possible tasks? It's also very important. You have to delegate the tasks to other people also. If you do everything by yourself, then you will not be in a position to achieve anything. It's not possible that we can achieve everything or we can do everything by ourselves. And delegation is at every step. Delegation is in the office. Delegation is in the class. Delegation is everywhere. Even delegation is at our home also. So if we are co-workers, staff is there at work, we delegate them the task. Like we have to just write type a letter. So there are people typists who do it. So if we have to prepare a timetable, there are people who have to prepare for it. Okay, and at our home, we also have to delegate some tasks to our spouse. Some tasks we get done by our children. So this is very essential. Delegation is very, very essential. Does the time I spend on the job affect my lifestyle? Because the way you spend the time is actually affecting your lifestyle. Lifestyle means you should have a life, a comfortable life. You should enjoy the life. You should have fun also in the life. If you find always you are stressed, then what's the problem of spending such a life? So the life should be such. Your lifestyle should be such. It should be enjoyable. You must be in a position to have fun out of this life. So these were some of the questions. If we give these questions to ourselves, so we can realize that time is a worth and we need to concentrate on our time and we need to learn the time management skills. So we'll now discuss what are the time management skills. So the time management skills are, one is to-do list, goal settings, planning, prioritizing, decision making, delegating, scheduling, understanding others, and improving yourself. So these are some of the time management skills which we need to learn. So if we could do it, that means we have developed skill for managing our time effectively and efficiently. So let us discuss these skills, because time is very short, we'll be discussing it really. So first task is that develop a to-do list. Don't unnecessarily tax your mind, tax your memory. And human comprehension is very weak. We don't remember things forever. We miss something. So is it not better that we keep things in writing? So whatever we are supposed to do during the day, can't we write it? For example, when we are leaving our home, our child is telling us, Papa, when you come back from your office, please get a pencil box for me. But once we reach home, we have forgotten to get the pencil. Often we do like this. So if we have written it somewhere, isn't it, would it not have been better that we could have remembered everything, we could have done every task? And now, how we will prepare this to-do list? How will put it in writing? It is any standard format you can have. And that fits to your needs. Somebody will have a piece of paper, write it and put it in the bag. Somebody would do it on a card. Somebody do it on a computer. Somebody would do it on a mobile set. But mobile set, we don't advise, because once we open the mobile, then we go towards the Instagram, towards Facebook. So it is major time we waste in that. So better would be that if you can have some other option, but if you are comfortable with that option, you can have it also. So most of the people, they have a diary. So what is actually supposed to do today, they will keep it in writing. It should be comprehensive. That means you should be in a position to understand what the activities you have written in the morning. So once I left, sometimes what I do, so whatever the activities I have to do, I put it in abbreviation. I write CAOK. But once I reach and try to read what is this abbreviation, I have forgotten. So it should be a little bit that much comprehensive. That means it can give us an understanding, perfect understanding that what the task is actually. Maintain it continuously. Keep the list current. So maintain it continuously means whatever you have put in the morning, if you are doing some job out of it, cross it. That means every time you should not read these tasks which actually you have done already. Or during the daytime, if there is another job which you have to do even today, you should add it, isn't it? So that means you have to make the list current as what we have to do next. What we have done, that should be crossed. It need not to be read again. Use the list to set priority. If you have a list of these activities, then we can prioritize it. We can set priorities of this. What is prioritizing? We can put priority number 1. Priority number 1 means these are to be done and these have to be done today itself. It's critical, it's related with the goal, and these have to be done today itself, because these are directly related with our job. These are goal related and it's critical also. For example, for a teacher, the priority number 1 is to take the class. So this 14th of May 2024 is not going to come again. So you should not miss it. So once we have a class, so that's our priority 1, and we have to do it today only. Unless there is an eventuality, some compulsions are there sometimes, but otherwise this always remains our priority number 1, because we are paid for that. Priority number 2, it's also important. It's also goal related. Must be done today. Must be done soon, but not necessarily today. So there can be some other activities also on our job, which actually are important. They are related with the goal, but not necessarily to be done today. We can do it tomorrow, we can do it later. For example, as a teacher of the University of Kashmir, I get a letter from the control of examination, you set a question paper for this. It is not that I have to do it today only. I will have a 7 days time, I can do it tomorrow, I can do it day after. But it's also related with the goal. Evaluation of answer scripts, framing of syllabus, or whatever it is. So this is also related with the goal, but not necessarily it becomes a priority number 1. It can be priority number 2. It is to be also done, but not necessarily today, but tomorrow or day after you have to do it. So it is a priority number 2. Then we have priority number 3. It can be it. May or may not be goal related. Sometimes they can be, they cannot be. No significant time pressure is there. Maybe easy, quick, and pleasant. So these jobs, these activities are very easy. They are quick. So we can We get tempted to do all these things, leaving the priority number 1. So that should not be the case. So this comes under the priority number 3. So if we put it like this, it's important and urgent. It can be important and not urgent. It can be not important and urgent. It can be not important and not urgent. It's a grid, 4-way grid. So effective time management is learning to say no to tasks in categories 3 and 4, to make more time for tasks in categories 1 and 2. So if you free yourself from this activity, these 3 and 4 activities, that means you can have more time to concentrate more on this priority number 1 and 2. So if you put it in a grid, you see urgency and importance. So do first, do later. So that means you can do them later. Like paper setting, I told you, we can do it. Then there are certain urgent works, but they are not important for you. You can delegate it to somebody else also. He can do it. Now there are fourth categories, neither they are urgent nor they are important. So we can eliminate them. Now you can see like these are the different tasks in the matrix. So these, what becomes important, what becomes not urgent. So these also can be done like this. Now, if you find how to keep focused on top priority items, you will need a daily to-do list. We discussed it, leave it. Work your way down from the top items. So that means top is priority item number 1, then you come down. Only when they are completed, you should work on the middle priority tasks. So once you first priority items are done, then you should move towards the second priority item. Only when everything else is done, you should work on the low priority item. That means category 3 and 4. When everything has been done, then only you should go for the low priority item. You will find that it's often acceptable to ignore the low priority item. So it's acceptable that because if you don't do these activities, nothing is going to happen. So that means it will be acceptable to leave these items from the activities schedule. Now another time management skill is time metabolism. That means time metabolism means you should understand that time of yours when you are energetic, when you are fully we can say fresh, and you can do. That's actually in our childhood we learn that if I will read something in the morning, I will remember. There was another student, he was just studying in the night, then only he will remember. So prime time may differ from person to person. So cooperate with your energy level. That means if you have do your tough tasks at prime time means when you are alert, when you are energetic. So if you have a tough tasks to do it at the prime time. So because that time you are having full of the energy, so it will take less time to do these tasks. So you will not feel sleepy or whatever it is. So if you can do it, so prime time you should recognize when is your prime time. Cooperate with others' time metabolism. It's not only that your time is also only important. So you have to cooperate with others also, with others' time metabolism. That means, for example, in students, you cannot understand the time metabolism for all the 60 students. It's not possible, but in official settings, we can have it. So, but what actually we do in the schools and colleges, if there are certain technical papers, you put them in the morning session. Because we feel that when the student comes to the school after from his home, he is fresh, he is energetic. So if there is some technical paper like accounts, we are having some quantitative techniques like this. So you should put them on the morning session, because that time they are energetic, they are fresh, so they will be in a position to learn them comfortably. Okay. Then next is goal setting. You have to set the goals for yourself. So what are the goals? You can have short-term goals, then you can have long-term goals. Specific goals, short-term rational goals means these are the goals for the short term. So these are the goals which can be mostly for a 1 year or so. So these goals are to be set as per the SMART principle. SMART principle means S is for specific, M is measurable, A is achievable, R is result oriented, and T is time limited. So now S is specific. Goal must be specific. There should be no ambiguity. And you must be in a position to understand what will be the outcome of this. It says make sure your goals are focused and identify tangible outcomes. So you must know what should be the result. Without the specifics, your goal runs the risk of being too vague to achieve. So you cannot understand things, because when we are going for a PhD, why we put specific objectives? So that our direction goes towards the fulfillment of those objectives. So it becomes very essential for the submission of the synopsis. So we are actually driving towards the goals which actually are objectives we have set out for our PhD, and those are to be very specific. There should be no ambiguity in the objectives of these tasks or these goals. Then measurable. Goals must be measurable. You should have some clear definition of success. That means when you have completed. So you should have a definite measurement of success, that once you reach this level, that means you have succeeded. For the way we put hypothesis. So then we measure it, and if we can say either it's accepted or it's not accepted, so that means it's over. So we must be in a position to measure it. If we are not in a position to measure it, then it's not a goal at all. Then the goals must be attainable also. Don't put some goals which you cannot attain throughout life. Sometimes we get tempted when we are framing our syllabus. We put such a huge syllabus for certain papers which students are not in a position to understand, nor they are in a position to do these things. So you are tempted to keep this thing is there in the syllabus. Then ultimately, when the teachers start teaching it, they don't complete it within the given time period. So take that syllabus which is actually attainable, which can be attained by your delivery and by students' acceptance. Another is it should be relevant. The goal must be relevant to the society, relevant to yourself, relevant to. But this is if some goals, if they have no relevance at all, isn't it? That means this is no goal. So goals, if we are putting some goals with, so that means it should be relevant with something, isn't it? That means it should be worthwhile to do it. Now another is time bound. Goals should be put time bound manner. There must be a specific time frame to do this task. If we keep it open, then it takes lifetime to do it. For example, if somebody is registered for a PhD, if you don't tell him that you have a 3 years of a time or 6 years total registration time, then he puts all his energy to complete it with 6 years. If you don't give him a timing, you will find that after 20 years, he may not have achieved this goal, he may not have done it. So that's actually, these goals are to be kept in terms of this SMART principle. Then there was another goal, direction goals, that is domain planning. So that means what's the goal for the longer time. So that's why I will tell you, we can have this way also. We can have long range goals, we can have 1 year goals, we can have short term goals. Long range goal means what you want to achieve throughout your lifetime. What you want to be retired as. You want to retire as a vice chancellor? You want to retire as a director of colleges? Or what you want to retire as a professor? You want to retire as a head of department? So you have to put up a goal of yourself that in an ultimate life, what actually you want to be. Then we have 1 year goals. Like I told you that these can be, but in the next month, 12 months, what I have to do. Then that means now here we can have in colleges, because we are concerned with the semester, so it can be with the semester. So that means you have to complete this syllabus within this semester. This is the goal. Then we can have short range goals. That's what's coming month. That means what we have to do in May, or in this week, or this day. So it will include personal growth, work priorities, whatever it is. So these are to be known as short-term goals. So once we have put these goals, now in each goal, you will have top priority goal, middle priority, and low priority. Those items which are ranked most essential for you, those are top priority items. And those items which could be put off for a while, but are still important to you, that can be middle priority items. And then we have a low priority items, those items that could be put off indefinitely with no harm done. Okay, that can be there. Now, schedule your time. That's another time management scheme. That means you should plan your time. How we can plan the time? First of all, set a time to arrive and leave. You should have a different time which you need to plan. Different time means when you are reaching the office, when you are leaving the office, so that at least you can plan only once you know how much time you are having to be planned. Combine related activities. Related activities should be combined. If you are teaching 2 classes, either take it in the morning or take it in the evening, so that if you take morning, finish it, and then second half you can do some other activities. You can start research paper, or you can go for preparing of the next sessions, or whatever it is. Plan major time blocks. Time blocks means it can be pre-lunch session, it can be post-lunch session. So you should plan them accordingly. So what I have to do in the pre-lunch session, what I have to do in the post. Consolidate discretionary time. That means if you are taking breaks, you consolidate it somewhere. Because taking a 5-minute break is nothing. But if you take 15 minutes break, it means you can take a complete rest. Schedule most important activities for handling at the first appropriate time. So what are the most important activities for your job, for you? It should be done at the first appropriate time. I don't say it's in the morning. Appropriate time is because you cannot have every class in the morning. Somebody has to take at 3, somebody has to take at 2, but whatever the time is listed, so it has to be done at a first appropriate time. So if your class is at 3, so it should be done at 3. Take advantage of prime time. So if you have recognized your prime time, you take advantage of it. If you have a tough task to do it during that prime time, do not slide planning time. That means do not deviate from the plan. We don't have a rigidity in this, but at least you should not have tremendous flexibility also in it. So when you every time you change it, that means there is no planning at all. So we should not deviate from the plan. Set deadlines for important tasks. So it will be always better. Set deadline. Have this 1 hour. This is to be done within 3 days. It should be done within 3 weeks. It should be done within 1 hour or 6 months. So set deadlines. Then only we can, because our mind is focused towards the deadline and we try to complete it before deadline comes. Allow quiet time. Allow quiet time. When you want to be quiet, when you want to take a rest, that's there. So you should have, we are not machines. We cannot be put to use for 24 hours. So we need some time when we have to take the rest. Then protect personal and family time. Protect it. It's not question you have this time. No, it has to be protected. If you do everything, every job, every activity you do, but you don't have time to meet your family, you don't have time to meet your parents, you don't have time to meet your children, that means you are taking your family time in doing the other jobs. So you do early job, but this thing you are missing. No, it has to be protected any cost. That's why I'm telling you, major of the preparation should be done in the college or university itself. So maybe major portion, maybe some portion even you can revise at your home, but major portion should be taken by the college itself. Otherwise, you will take the family time. Now there is another skill, that's handling interruptions. Because interruptions will be always there. You are doing a task, interruption will come. Now you have to deal with these interruptions. Drop in visitors. You have a specific time for visitors to meet. So everybody will come to know that you have a specific time. You meet with the people only in the afternoon, so that in the morning you can concentrate on some other jobs. Why these secretariats or big offices, they have a particular time for public to go in? Because if public are allowed throughout the day, so they will not allow these people to work. Then colleagues and students, we have to meet regularly with these colleagues and students, because we are in a college, in a university, we have to meet students. We have to meet the faculty. But if you want to concentrate on a particular job, you want to prepare for a class which is at 3 in the afternoon, so then you can close the door, you can put up a signboard, okay, I'm busy, don't disturb. What's the problem in it? Okay. Then telephone is a major disruption that at present, because now telephone is being carried everywhere, so it disturbs us. Now how we can handle this interruption? Plan your calls in writing. Go to the point, get to the point assertively. That means when we have started the telephone, go to the point which actually is the final outcome. You should not go with playing and you will have 10 minutes first, then you will start asking what actually you want. No. You should get to the point assertively at the first instance. Listen actively. You should listen actively also. Focus your concentration on the call. You have to develop the skill when you feel like you are 100% towards the call. Repetitions are not always good. You should not allow people tell, okay, what you said, what is it? That's not nice. So you should fully concentrate towards the call. Time limit your calls. So it should not have a time, without any time, you go for hours together and discuss them. Limit your calls. Stand up to talk. So it's often said that if you have take a call and you want to concentrate more, stand up and take a call, because you feel like more alert when you stand up. And then getting off the phone also, the way you take it, you should get off the phone. You can, even in the start, you can tell him that I have 5 minutes, I can just, so that he knows that you have 5 minutes to finish the call, so he will go to the point and do it. Otherwise, you will remain in just putting yourself like, how are you, and how is your family, and like this. It will take half an hour, then you start talking. No, you should tell the person that I have these type of minutes are there, so I want to talk to you. So immediately you should go to the point. Organizing your work area and coping with paperwork. This is also one of the primary skill. Develop and follow a personalized plan of organizing for your desk or work area. So you should have your own work area. Work area means that you should develop it. You should organize it. To where I have to keep the books, where I have to keep the notes, where I have to keep the pen, so that it becomes easy for you to work in, to be in that work area. So it's not that today you have books on the right side and tomorrow you have on the right side. No. You should follow the personalized book. Whatever you feel like you're comfortable with, you follow it there. Sort paperwork on your desk according to priority. So priority wise, you have to keep paperwork. For example, if I have 2 classes tomorrow, so if I have a table, so first category should be even nearby, and then second class preparation should be on the next side. So that means it will be as a priority. And if you have to set up a question paper, that will be next to it. Discard low priority items. You need not to keep low priority items here. You discard them. Use follow-up files to unconnect your desk. So you can use these follow-up files also, so that you don't have big files there with you and taking much of space and other things. If you have read something 3 times and not acted on it, throw it away. It is said that if you have something you have kept in your pocket in that, and you have read it 3 times, that means if you have still not acted on it, that means it's least important, you should throw it away. Make decision not to procrastinate. Now, another is procrastination. That means we delay the items. It's also one of the problems that we go on delaying the file. We delay. So don't delay. Because we learn in the childhood that do not put off till tomorrow what you can do today. So what you have to do today, do it. Don't put it for the tomorrow. So if it's today's work, you do it today on. So if you are doing tomorrow, that means you go for procrastination, you delay the item. How you can overcome these procrastination process? Not to suffer more than a minimum amount of time. Don't take more of the plan. Don't take it. So, for example, we do have a life, isn't it? And in this life, we may have certain failures. We may have certain pains. So we may sometimes feel like our dear one expires or something like that. So take a minimum amount of pain, because when we are in a panic condition, we don't take decisions. That means we procrastinate. Whatever we have to do at that time, we procrastinate and we'll do it after 3 days or 4 days. So take a minimum amount of pain. Whatever minimum amount is there, you take that pain. Not more than that. Otherwise, if you remain with the pain, then everything's gone. Not ever become really tired or work too hard. You work hard, but not too hard. Don't go beyond your capacity. So whatever is your job, you should work hard for that. But don't go beyond capacity. Means if we can lift 50 kgs. But if you are trying to lift 100 kgs, that means we will get tired. That is there. We will be really tired after a minute. For everything to be easy, take everything to be easy. But nothing is easy, but should be earned with hard work. So it is not the jobs we should find easy or not easy, but you have earned it with hard work. You have learned it. Then you have made them easy for you. Never to hurt anybody. Don't hurt anybody. If you hurt him, he will hurt you back. Then again, the process will go on. Isn't it? So that means you will be wasting your time in these type of things. So your essential things will remain there. Never to feel guilty, angry, or too good. Don't be feel guilty. Don't be too angry or too competitive. So competition is okay, but competition with similar type of things. So if we start competing with our prime minister, that means what with the outcome, isn't it? So that will be of no use. So always you should compete with your similar type of things. Okay, to be punished for having pleasure or fun. If you find that I've taken more fun, instead of doing a job, I took a fun. So you can start punishing. Punishing means if such an activity will occur again, I will have 30 minutes run. So that way you can punish so that it will stop you on pleasure or fun. to be liked and accepted by everybody. We are teachers, we should be liked, we should be accepted by the students, then only we can deliver that. That's very, and we should be liked by the students also. Always to be taken care of. We should be taken care of by the students, we should be respected. And respect is, it should come, it should not be demanded. If we demand respect from students, it is no respect at all. It should come out of your actions. It should come out of your teaching. So they should start respecting you. They should start. It's only possible if you do acts like that, so that you can be taken care of by this much. Always to look. You should look good. You should not look here and there. No, you should look very comfortable, very good to the students. Now there are certain ways which can help us not to procrastinate things, not to delay the items. Recognize the unpleasantness. We say correct decision jo hai, it is little bit more difficult than an incorrect decision, or not to take decision at all. It is okay. But do you think taking no decision is a solution? Or taking decision tomorrow is a solution? No. You should recognize what unpleasantness is going to come out of it. If it is going to be tomorrow also the same situation, then what's the fun of delaying the decision? Examine the real payoffs for not deciding or taking the easy way. If you are taking the easy way, not deciding it, what will be the really payoff? What will be the outcome of it? Examine the advantage. What can be the advantages of it? If you delay the decision, what is the advantage? You should understand what is the advantage of it. You should exaggerate your resistant behaviors. Take responsibility for each delay. We should take responsibility for each delay. And it's not that if it's good, I have done it. If it's bad, you have done it. No. Take responsibility, because once you realize our delays, these things, our delays are mistakes, then only we will overcome them in future. Decide everything now. You should decide everything. Don't delay for tomorrow or day after. Decide everything now on. Prime yourself with leading tasks. So if you are doing some tasks jointly, consider yourself as a leader so that you can put more efforts in that. Finish things. So it says that finish first everything, then only you go to the another. Because once you finish the thing, you get a satisfactory element. You get satisfaction. Okay? Then you can go to the next task. So it's always better. Finish a task, then go to the next. So if you remain tasks under, you have not finished it, then it will remain on your head. Always it will kill your time. Then another way is, if, for example, you have a dull task or an unpleasant task, we can give it to somebody else. If it is dull for us, it cannot be dull the same way it cannot be for them all. So we can delegate it. And overwhelming or if it's a complex task, then you can divide it into different manageable components. So then for example, we have a syllabus. We do 1 unit, then we do 2nd unit, then we do 2. So these are manageable components. So we can do it like this. No prospect of immediate results are benefits. If you find that there's no immediate result is coming, then you can realize that, okay, you have spent 1 hour with this to do the job. Then again, you have spent 2 hours to do the job. So this way, you will be in a position to look into matter and see, take the decision on this matter. If you are stuck, take an arbitrary start. If you are stuck, that means you don't know where to start. If sometimes you are given an activity, that you do it. So, and if you are stuck, you don't know where from I have to start. It says you take an arbitrary start from somewhere. You will automatically reach to that start, to that level of work which actually you need to have taken first. Now there are time savers. Learn to say no. If you can say no, you will be in a position to save much of your time. Sometimes principal tells us to do something, we don't say no, but we accept it. Then after 2 days, which was supposed to be do in a day, we could not do it within 3 days. Or if we accepted to do it within 1 hour, after 4 hours, we could not do it. So it is always better that tasks which you cannot do, say no to those tasks. And don't be under pressure or whosoever is doing this task. So you should say no categorically. But here, the no should be justified no. It should be with the reason. If everything you say no, then you will be no man in the college. That will be a problem. Begin, avoid procrastination. Start the work with this objective that I am not going to procrastinate it. Work briskly. That means fastly. Plan the task before starting. So you should plan first. Why we should plan? That means if there is any problem arising in the future, we should realize it beforehand. so that we can take progressive steps for that. Plan the day, the week, and the year. Set goals, so the emphasis will be on the important tasks. Learn and practice self-discipline. Improve your skills in concentration. So you can improve your skills in concentration also. It is possible that you start reading loudly, or you start reading just on when you are standing, like that. Improve your skills in develop a good memory. Try to develop a good memory. Learn to listen effectively. So in communication, it's not only that you should be a good talk speaker, but you should be a good listener also. Learn to like your work. Now it's one of the essential things that we should like our work, because if you don't like, it will not like you back. If you dislike it, it will dislike. If you like your work, irrespective, whether you are by passion or by chance, you are a teacher. Now you are a teacher, you start liking it. It will like you back. Know your job well. Keep your own procedure manual to edit as you find valuable material. Any book, anything you find it's relevant to mind, you keep a manual for that. Know why to find answers quickly. You should know why to find answers quickly. Nowadays, now we say, if there is any question, we go to the Google and find an answer. But even sometimes you may need to help, take the help of experts. So don't, instead of wasting time in here and there, you can go straight with the expert, a teacher, or you find he's the person who can tell me the solution to this problem. You can tell him. Expect to succeed. You should expect that I will make a success. Learn from any mistakes or failure, then forget them. Learn from the mistakes. Learn from these mistakes and then forget them. You should remain. If you remain with the mistakes only, then it will take much of your time. You have committed, because mistakes will be there, failures will be there. So if you have a failure, there has been a mistake, you just realize that I did a mistake. Then you should learn that, and next time the mistakes will not occur, and you should forget about these mistakes. Finish each task before starting another. First of all, one task should be complete, then you should start another task. Avoid interruptions. If these interruptions are coming, you should avoid it. Have a place for everything. Keep a return everything to it. Everything should be put at a proper place. You keep a pen at a pen stand, okay, you keep it. Otherwise, you will start searching for a pen for 10 minutes. It will be nowhere. You will be wasting your time. So in order to save time, keep a place for everything and put it on its own place. Improve your reading skills, increase your skills. So reading skills can be improved. Okay, it can be through louds or whatever it is. Improve your writing skills. You can improve your writing skills also. Some ways to save time on the job. Write down your ideas. Do not trust your memory. However good, I told you before, do not trust your memory. How you feel like you have a good memory, but don't trust it. Put things in writing. Set your priorities first thing in the morning before any work gets underway. Use your high priority hours for high priority projects. Do not overschedule. Give at least 2 hours in a day free from appointments. Tackle time-consuming projects at stage. Concentrate on one job at a time. When a day's work is overtaxing, get for a lunch or take a rest. Use your low priority hours for easy to do. If you find that there are some time when you are very low productive, you can do the other jobs, which are low prioritized jobs. Work on appointment schedule. Carry a card so that you can jot down. Carry reading material with you if you are in a queue or you are waiting for somebody, like you are a doctor's clinic or at the airport. You should carry a reading material with you so that you can improve on the reading what actually is there. Or nowadays, now you have your mobile set. You can just go to Google and you can find enough of reading material on it. That's possible. Use travel time to listen to or dictate. But when you are not a driver, if you are a driver, then it's not possible. You can do it if somebody else is driving. Set reasonable deadlines for yourself and others. Make decisions now wherever possible. Batch items for discussion and target schedule times. So, better time is right now. We convince ourselves that life will be better after we get married, have a baby, and then another. Then we are frustrated that kids are not old enough and believe that they will be more content than they are. Then we have to deal with the teenagers, which is very dangerous age of these youngsters. Then we tell ourselves that our life will be complete when we have some spouse gets his or her act together, when we get a car, when we get something like that. The truth is, there is no better time to be happy than right now. If not now, when? Your life will always be filled with challenges. it is best to admit this to yourself and decide to be happy. Anyway, happiness is the way. So treasure every moment that you have, and treasure it more because you shared it with someone special. So special enough to spend your time with. And remember that time waits for no one. So don't wait unless you have a car, until you can, until you this thing, until you will be married, until you will have this thing. Okay. So there is no better time than right now to be happy. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. So work like you don't need money. Love like you are never been hurt, and dance like no one's watching. So thank you very much. So this was a small crisp of this presentation. It's a very big, it could have been cited the examples, but it's only one session. But sometimes I take this in a 2 sessions and I make some practical problems also. But it was not possible during this 1.5 hour session. So thank you very much for being with me. So if there is any question from anywhere, so anybody wants to put me some questions.
Thank you very much, sir, for your this nice deliberation in this short time. Participants, if you have any question regarding the sir topic, you can ask. Participant, now it is over to you, participants.
So may I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Rudri ma'am, please.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. It was a nice session.
Okay.
One of the challenge which I'm facing in time management is the kind of agility which is right now prevalent. Whenever we plan something ahead, something new comes and we have to change or we have to do it again. So this is the biggest challenge, and how I can overcome this challenge?
I could not make it, but if you are actually doing some activity, then some changes are there, then you leave it there, then you have to go for the another activity. It's like that?
No, sir. What I am
Yeah.
saying is today the pace of change is so much, and people are like my superiors. They always say that believe in agile management. जो जैसे आ रहा है, we have to change plans accordingly. And you see कि अभी बहुत सारा change बहुत जल्दी आ रहा है.
Yeah, but
Whether it is in
we
our
actually
तो
learn
इनका
time
कहने का
management
मतलब ये
in
है
the
कि सर ये
changing
जैसे
scenario.
कि इतने चेंजेस होते हैं कि प्रायोरिटी चेंज करनी पड़ती है इनको.
Yeah.
हाँ
So
जी,
that's
हाँ
that's
जी. तो
that's
उसको
that is
plan
there.
ही
So
नहीं कर
sometimes it
सकते.
is possible. So but if you do it again and again, not because of certain compulsion, then that's a matter of worry. It is possible. I told you that once you plan, there has to be a little bit of flexibility. You cannot have a rigid plans. But if you don't make, if you just change plan the way you want it, then it's no planning at all, isn't it? So maybe sometimes the situation is such you may have to change. You have to put flexibility in the even when we do go for budgeting, when we go for planning. So there has to be somewhat flexibility in the plans. So if for nothing there, but if you are making a changes in the plans, then is no plan at all. So that's with you only.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And so one more thing
Yeah.
which I am facing is people are not able to distinguish between doables and deliverables. Like many of time we are forced to do so much of doable things like paperwork and all that we cannot concentrate on actual goals which can deliver more results. So
I
I
told.
think
Yeah.
one session on doables and deliverables will be very good. This is just a suggestion on my part.
Yeah, that is doable and deliverable is okay, but for a teachers especially it's very important that we should know. But at least I will tell you that
Yes, sir.
one of the important I tell you dimension is that is learn to say no. If for example you are being asked to do something which actually you feel that you are not comfortable with, or you feel like it's not within your jurisdiction, then you can say no to the people. But if you have a sufficient reason for to say no, if for the sake of doing the work, if you say no, then it's a problem. So
Okay.
so that you have to learn. So for example, your vice chancellor or your principal will come to know that okay, you accept the tasks which are within your means. So you will not take the task which actually, but otherwise you see how much humiliation we face if we are supposed to do it at 4 and we are not in a position to deliver it at 4, isn't it? So that's
Yes.
that. So learn to say no is very important, though it's very hard, but you have to learn. You have to
Certainly, sir.
learn. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any more questions, participants? I think, sir, there is no
Thank
more
you, sir.
question.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, I would like to thanks to the participants for their patience hearing, even after some unavoidable circumstances which happened in the starting of this session. Apart from this, thank you very much, sir, for you that you have delivered a very nice and detailed lecture about time management. सर ये प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, कभी नेटवर्क की इशू, कभी कुछ इशू,
Sir,
और
these
ऐसी
are
कोई बात नहीं है
this
सर,
is
इट्स
part
नो
of the game.
इसीलिए मैं बार बार पार्टिसिपेंट्स को थैंक्स कर रहा हूँ कि दे हैव इवन यू हैव कंप्लीटेड योर टाइम स्लॉट. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
We will see you again, inshallah, next
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you, participants, for your patient hearing. Join tomorrow your last sessions of this program at the same time with the same enthusiasm. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aftab Saab. So nice of you.
thank
So
you,
nice
sir.
to all the participants that you give me patient hearing. So nice of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So nice.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Shukriya,
Thank you, sir.